Rapunzel and the Roaring Twenties. In the heart of New Orleans, where jazz spilled from every doorway and magic lingered in the warm evening air, stood a mansion unlike any other. Behind its wrought iron gates and lace curtains lived a young woman named Rapunzel, whose voice could make the very stars dance in the sky. Mother Gothel, a wealthy socialite known for her exclusive garden parties, kept Rapunzel hidden away, claiming the world wasn't ready for such a remarkable talent. Rapunzel spent her days reading fashion magazines, practicing piano, and watching the city come alive each evening from her balcony. The sounds of jazz would float up from the French Quarter, and she would secretly sing along, her voice weaving between the trumpet notes and drum beats that filled the air. What fascinated her most were the paper lanterns that filled the sky during the annual jazz festival, glowing like fireflies against the dark velvet night. Everything changed the night Flynn Rider slipped through her window, his trumpet case in hand and trouble on his heels. He wasn't what Rapunzel expected a musician to look like. His suit was too fine for a regular player, and his smile held secrets. As police whistles echoed in the distance, Rapunzel made him an offer. She would help him hide if he took her to see where the music came from. Their escape into the New Orleans night was like stepping into a dream. The streets were alive with color and sound. Ladies in beaded dresses twirled past, their sequins catching the lamplight, while musicians played on every corner. Rapunzel discovered that her voice could do more than just charm. When she sang, flowers would bloom out of season, quarreling couples would make peace, and even the darkest clouds would part to reveal stars. Mother Gothel, upon discovering Rapunzel's absence, used her social connections to search the city. She sent private detectives to every speakeasy and dance hall, claiming Rapunzel had been kidnapped. But Flynn knew every hidden doorway and secret passage in New Orleans, leading Rapunzel through a world of underground jazz clubs where people danced until dawn. In a club called the Snuggly Duckling, hidden beneath an ordinary coffee shop, Rapunzel found her first real audience. As she sang with the house band, her voice transformed the room. Tough guys wiped away tears, rival gang members shook hands, and for a moment, all the barriers that divided people seemed to melt away. The club's owner, an old jazz player himself, recognized something in her voice, a power that hadn't been heard since the days when Marie Laveau walked the streets of the French Quarter. As they explored deeper into the city's hidden music scene, Rapunzel learned the truth about herself. She wasn't just any singer. She was the daughter of the city's beloved former mayor and his wife, a famous opera singer whose voice was said to bring good fortune. Mother Gothel had taken her as a baby, recognizing the power in her first cry. The floating lanterns were released every year during the jazz festival by her real parents, hoping their lost daughter would hear their call and find her way home. Mother Gothel's final trap was set at the grandest speakeasy in New Orleans during the height of the jazz festival. She had arranged for Rapunzel to be discovered by a record producer who would take her far away from the city. But as Rapunzel stood on the stage that night, with Flynn's trumpet playing beside her, she understood that her voice wasn't meant to be locked away in recordings or hidden in mansions. She began to sing a song that seemed to come from New Orleans itself, a melody that carried the sound of riverboats and church bells, of blues notes and gospel choirs. Her voice filled the room with golden light, and every person who heard it felt their heart lift with joy. Mother Gothel's power over her broke like a spell, and the woman who had kept her prisoner for so long fled into the night, never to be seen again. Reunited with her real parents, Rapunzel transformed the mansion where she had been imprisoned into a music school where anyone with a dream could learn to play. Her voice brought harmony to the city in more ways than one, breaking down barriers between different neighborhoods and bringing people together through the power of music. Flynn found his place as a respected musician and Rapunzel's partner, his trumpet playing perfect harmony to her voice. Together they performed in clubs across the city, spreading joy and magic wherever they went. Every year during the Jazz Festival, Rapunzel and Flynn would release the first lantern together, watching it drift into the star-filled sky. As thousands more lights joined it, Rapunzel would sing a song that made the very air shimmer with possibility. And in those moments, everyone remembered that the greatest music comes not from being perfect, but from being free to share your true voice with the world. The story of Rapunzel, the voice of New Orleans, became a legend in the city where magic and music had always lived side by side. In the years that followed, people would say that on quiet nights, you could still hear her song in the warm evening air, reminding everyone that every voice has power and every heart has a song waiting to be sung.
Subscribe now and step into a new story where fairy tales come with a twist.